Hi, I'm Katie McGee. Welcome to Denver. We are live here from the broadcast studios at GBTA Convention 2025. It is my honor to introduce you and say hello to Amy Horack, the Director and Head of Global Travel Solutions for Bank of America. Amy, we've been having some fun here, but it is time to get down to business. There's a lot going on in today's work environment. You're talking about hybrid models, multiple generations in the workplace. Really, how is that work environment reshaping business travel?
Well, I'm glad I'm not in charge of it, right? First of all, is what I'll say. It's a tough time to be a leader or a decision maker or a manager. There's so many different things that are conflicting with each other right now. On the one hand, we have the economy and things we have to worry about, keeping our business lean. But on the other hand, we need our employees to be creative and collaborative. Plus, we've gotten so good at hybrid work that we question, when do we need to travel? But there's no better value than face-to-face time in this kind of place, right? And then you add to that the addition of wanting to be mindful of sustainability factors and what does our carbon footprint look like as a company. So then you think about, well, do we really need to go on that trip, get on that airplane? And then you realize, well, we really do need to win the deal, right? For business's sake, going back to those times are lean. And it's just a lot, it's a quandary of conflicting priorities. You add to those conflicting priorities that you have 4, maybe 5 generations in the workplace who think very differently about what they like to do, how they like to travel, when they like to travel, how they like to pay for things. And it's really more considerations than a travel manager should have to wrap their head around. But it is the way right now. And so travel has changed a little bit. I can tell you from talking to our clients, it's changed, but it's still happening. I know as a personal business traveler, it's changed, but it's still happening. I know from our data at Bank of America and your data at GBTA, it's still happening and growing, right? So we have to continue to travel. And though it's evolved, the part that I think has changed the most is what happens before and after the flight. So the things that we do to plan and the things that we do to reconcile our trip have gotten so much faster and smarter and more intuitive. All those tools, reporting tools, booking tools, planning tools, expense management tools, payment tools, all of that has made it so much easier for the traveler so that we've been able to shift away from some of the administrative to a much more efficient use of time, making everybody more productive.
And that really is the end goal, right? Everybody more productive, everybody doing what they need to do. And how does card technology transform the corporate travel space? How is that happening?
So the things that are most valuable to a traveler when it comes to a card are convenience, ubiquity, security. But the things that are most valuable to a company are the data pieces. So all the data that you get with a card transaction helps our companies dig into the details of the spend. Literally, where is the spend going? Where in the world is it going? Much less what category of spend is it? And how is it being used? Is it in compliance with the policy that we've set forth? Are we using it for management of duty of care? There's so many things. I mean, the sky's the limit with data for corporates and what they want to do with it. And then where in the past we've gone to companies and we've said, you really should mandate card. And they've been like, oh, it's okay. Our employees like to use their cards. Now they're coming to us and they're saying, we'd like to capture the rest of that spend. We'd like that data for all of it, right? We want to make sure that everybody's staying in compliance. We want to know where it's going. So how can you get card to cover things that are not usually cardable, right? Because either the supplier doesn't take it or the employee doesn't have a card, or maybe they're not an employee at all, right? And so that's where virtual cards come into play. And so the ability to have a virtual card that you can give to a person for something very specific, and you can wrap the controls around it, and there's all the delivery ways that you can send it to them. It's really taking card to the next level, and it's really helping our clients capture all of the spend so they can see it all.
Nice, I like that. What is the future of payment processing in business travel?
I know, see into the future. I'm a card person, so I think card still has a long runway. And, the ubiquity and the data and the security and the convenience, those aren't going to go out of style anytime soon. So I really think what is happening is more of this virtual card. We've gotten so good during our hybrid times and all of our online, we've gotten really comfortable with mobile wallet and contactless and online payments. And I think that is just going to grow. I think we're going to find more and more ways to convert those physical cards, those plastic cards, into virtual cards so that we can safely get them to places while still protecting the original account number. And that's just going to open up more and more opportunities to grow. So I see a future with less physical presentment of plastic, less pulling it out of your wallet, right? And more virtual mobile wallet tap payments. So maybe not plastic less, but less plastic. Maybe that's where we're going.
I like the way you said that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I can envision it. And I think that it's good to see the future and see what's coming and see what's possible.
It's hard to know, but I do think we're moving to a place where that card is just to be optional, right? You're going to be able to use it for all the things you have now and then some without maybe even taking it with you on a trip. Maybe not even getting it from the bank. Maybe we just deploy it to you and you never get a plastic at all.
Wow. This is an interesting time we're living in, that's for sure.
It is.
Amy, thank you so much. It was absolutely a pleasure to talk to you.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, it's our pleasure. And thank you for joining us again. My name is Katie McGee. We are live here in Denver at the broadcast studio at GBTA Convention 2025. Thank you for watching.